Welcome to Jaztime. Jaztime.com is an online store that buys, sells, trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so our customers can easily choose the best watch for themselves in the comfort of their own home. If you would like to know the price, simply click on the link in the description below. If you enjoy our videos, we'd greatly appreciate it if you would buy a watch at Jaztime.com, which is why we make these videos. Yes, all these watches that you see on our YouTube channel that we review, they are also on sale at our website, which is Jaztime.com, Jaztime.com. If you want to buy them for the lowest price anywhere online, I suggest you go there. Save yourself some money and some headache. Get your watches immediately as opposed to waiting in line at your authorized dealer for 2 years. Let's dive right in. Today I'm going to be comparing the Rolex Submariner reference 126610LV, also known as the Kermit, with the Rolex GMT-Master 2 reference 126710BLRO, also known as the Pepsi. This is a comparison, not a review. We have detailed reviews of each of these watches. You can click on them in the link in the description below, and you can take a look at in-depth reviews of each one of them. Today I'm just going to be comparing them, because most people who are thinking about buying these, they're thinking about one of these two. That's why we do these comparisons. And since you can't come into our shop and see my handsome face, you would need to watch this video and buy the watches on our website, which, by the way, is Jaztime.com. Okay, let's dive right in. I'm going to talk to you guys about the bezel, the dial, the case, the bracelet, the movement. Try each one of them on and give me my thoughts. Okay, let's start with the case. The case on the Submariner is 41 millimeters. That's from my thumb to my index finger. On the GMT, it's 40 millimeters. I'm going to try to hold them to you side by side so you can see, is there a difference? Well, I think most of us can see, not really, but that's only because it's a 1 millimeter difference. Yeah, there's not a whole lot, but you can see kind of a difference. If I hold them side by side, you probably couldn't see it if I just held one by itself. If I told you how many millimeters with this, you probably wouldn't know. If I showed you this one, you probably would also know. But if I put it right next to each other, you kind of could see. Now, since we're talking about the size here, I want to show you something else that has been changed. Now, you see these lugs? If you look at them, okay, so it's 40 millimeters, 41 on the left, 40 on the right. Now, look at the lugs though. Isn't that kind of strange? You see the Kermit or the green Submariner? It has slightly thinner lugs. The lugs are the thing that the bracelet connects to. You look at the GMT, it's slightly thicker. So even though the GMT is smaller, 40 millimeters, when you look at it like this way, it actually almost looks a little bit bigger and chunkier because it's going this direction bigger, okay? So anyways, that's something to think about, 40 versus 41. Okay, now let's talk about, the bezel. The bezel, as you see on the Submariner, it's green, and on the GMT, it's blue and red. Not really a big, yeah, actually it is a big deal because that's why it costs so much different. Okay, I just tell you, in the Submariner, they make it with a blue bezel, which is in white gold. They make it with a black bezel, which is in stainless steel, and they make it with this green bezel, okay? And for the GMT, they make it in a blue and red, which is what you see here, or they make it with a black and blue, which we also have on our website, Jaztime.com, which you can buy also, and you can buy this one. So they make those variations, and they also make it in two-tone. Anyways, they make a lot of different variations, all of those which you can see at Jaztime.com if you want to. But right now we're talking about these two variations, and I believe most people who are trying to decide between these two are looking at these specific two, which is why I'm making this video. Okay, so the bezel obviously is different. They're both made of ceramic. Okay, what that means is that it won't scratch. So like the old bezel used to be made of aluminum, and if you rubbed against something wrong or something, it would scratch. These bezels basically will not scratch, and they will also not fade, which is a very good thing. Okay, now I just want to let you know the Submariner's bezel is unidirectional. When I try to turn it the other direction, unidirectional means one way. When I try to turn it to the right, it won't do that, and that's because it's used for calculating elapsed time when you're underwater. So when the second hand goes over, when it proceeds, then you can calculate elapsed time. Obviously, you don't want to be able to turn this the other way because then you might think you might have less time than you actually do. And if you're scuba diving, that wouldn't be a good thing. Okay, for the GMT, it doesn't calculate elapsed time. This bezel is a 24-hour graduated bezel that clicks every 1 hour. So that's 1, 2, 3. For every turn is 1 hour, and it's kind of complicated. You can actually use the GMT to tell a third time zone, which is what the bezel is for. But I don't really want to go into that here because it's not for the purpose of review. This is a comparison, comparing the two. So anyways, red and blue bezel basically, and green bezel. I think that's pretty obvious just by looking at it. But anyways, you still want to know it. You still want to hear it, which is why you're watching this video. And if you're going to spend this kind of money, what you'd like to kind of know. All right, anyways, so that's what it is. Let's talk about the dial here. Now, both dials are luminescent. Both dials have this maxi large dial. I'm going to show you what they both look like when it's lit up at night. Okay, both shine blue, and both look pretty impressive. I would say there's not a whole lot of difference between the dial. Aside, obviously, one says Submariner because it is, and one says GMT. That's kind of a no-brainer. They both show a date function. Okay, this date function, it's right in the middle. Let's see. We probably need to move the hour hand. I can show you right here. When you move the hour hand, boom, that's how it clicks. It's called a semi-quick set, as opposed to the Submariner, which is using a quick set. Okay, don't really want to go into each one of those, but look, what is the difference between a GMT and a Submariner? Well, it's basically a GMT. It stands for a second time zone. You see that red arrow? That tells you a second time zone. So this GMT red hand goes around 1 time in every 24 hours, which means right now it's 4 a.m. somewhere. Does that make sense? Okay, so whereas this hour hand goes around twice every 24 hours, the GMT hand goes once around every 24 hours, and the numbers on the bezel indicate the hours. So 4 a.m., 6 a.m., 8 a.m., and it makes sense, right? So 6 a.m. till 6 p.m. is red, which is like daylight. Red meaning, I guess, time to work or something. Okay, anyhow. All right, so that's that. Now let's talk about the movement. The movement on actually both movements are updated, but they are obviously different movements because they do different things. Now there's really not much to see on the Submariner, which is on my left hand. It's a 32-35 movement, which is a upgraded movement from the old 31-35 with the 32-35. And let's see, what kind of specifications are there on it? It's precise to ± 2 seconds a day. It's a bi-directional self-winding perpetual rotor, and it has an approximate power reserve of 70 hours. Okay, well, that's great. How about the GMT? Let's take a look at that. What kind of movement does that one have? That one has a 3285. It used to be a 3185, now it's a 3285. It's a ± 2 seconds a day, and has a power reserve of 70 hours. You know what? Basically, they're both the same. So that doesn't really help us very much. So let's talk about the last and final thing. The second most important thing, aside from the bezel, if you ask me, is the bracelet. The bracelet, as you can see, they're probably different. Yes, they are different. The one on the left is a Oyster bracelet. That's the Submariner. The one on the right is a Jubilee bracelet. This is the only watch that Rolex makes that is sports that's on the Jubilee. Jubilee is typically reserved for dress watches. It's here, as you see it, on a sports watch. Why? Because they're meshing both sports and dress, which is a great idea if you ask me. I really love it. I think they really hit it on the head right there. So if you want a mesh between the two, boom, you buy the Pepsi. Or if you like the colors, then boom, you buy the Pepsi. If you like total sports, classic watch, then you buy the Submariner. And if you like colors, boom, you get it in green. And if you like to get them at the lowest price anywhere online, you go to Jaztime.com, Jaztime.com. Okay, so that's the bracelet. Let's talk about the buckle. Now, the buckle here on a Submariner, you get a folding Oyster safety lock with a how many millimeter comfort extensions? Anyone know? Let's see. Let's look it up here. It doesn't say on the website, but I'm pretty sure it's 20 millimeters. I'll show you how it works. You open it like this. You slide it across like that, and you simply close it. That's 20 millimeters. So you can make this watch small and large, and presumably it fits across a diver extension. They both have this Oyster folding safety locks, which you simply close and close it again a second time. You open it like this, you clip it open, boom. And if you want to change the size, you simply push out, pull, and place it in. Kaboom, that's 20 millimeters. Now, that makes sense because you're diving with this watch. That's presumably the case. On the GMT, you're not supposed to be doing that. You're supposed to be flying in an airplane, checking a second time zone. So, you don't have that. What do you have instead? Well, you still have the folding Oyster safety lock, easy comfort 5mm extension. The difference is the extension is not 20mm, instead it's 5mm. The way you do it is simply pull like this. Boom. That's all. So you have two modes. Small, large. That's it. And that's how you turn it in. Make sense? Okay. Running out of time here, so I got to try this on and give you my thoughts. Let's start with the Submariner. Now, the Submariner is a new release of 2020. Yeah, I forgot to say, it also has a fatter bracelet. Let's see if I can show you that here. The bracelet used to be 20mm from lug to lug, from lug to lug. Now it's actually, I think, 21 or 22, I don't know, something like that. Do you see, even though it has a skinnier profile right here, do you notice that the bracelet is thicker on the Submariner? It's ever so slight. I measured one of these end links. They used to be 15.5mm, now it's 16.5mm. So I guess it's increased by 1mm. I guess since it tapers, the top is like maybe 21mm. I'm not sure, but I definitely know it's bigger because these won't fit on the old Submariners. And this on the right, the GMT is still 20mm from lug to lug. Lug means this lug to this lug, the end link. Make sense? Okay, so actually the bracelet is fatter. And if you look at the buckle, I'll hold the buckle side by side. Look at that. Do you notice that the buckle is not only larger because it encapsulates that 20mm comfort extension, but it's also wider. I'm not sure if you can see that. Can you see that? I can kind of see it. It's 1mm. It's slight. Maybe it's because I'm sitting right in front of it, but I can see it. Okay, but even if you can't, you can take my word for it. It's a little bit larger. Okay, here, moving on to my thoughts. So my thoughts of this watch. Well, I'm a real fan of the Pepsi, or I'm a real fan of both of them actually. Me personally, I can wear any watch I want because I work here. But what do I wear? I wear the Hulk. Actually, I wear the old school Hulk because when this one came out, this is the Kermit. They call it the Kermit because it's not green dial. I couldn't afford it, so I haven't bought it. But I think I might. I'm not sure. I might switch over to this green and black one. My thoughts are like I'm a huge fan of the Submariner. I love it being simple, plain, and everything. I really like it, and I really like that they came out with this green with black. I did kind of think that all green was a little too much. You know, I gotta be honest. Like, I've been wearing that watch every day for a very long time, many years. But dang, it's just totally green. You know, it's just all green everywhere. You know, and it's a little bit much, to be honest. I like that they went back to green and black because, well, you know, it's all green is just a lot. It's like just where that's why they call it the Hulk. You know, so. Anyways, I kind of like this one that is green and black, and I do like the size. At first I thought, oh man, dude, 41 is going to be so big, it's not going to fit. Well, no, not really. You know, what they did is they tapered down these lugs right here, which actually made it fit, okay? And so it fits just fine when you taper down the lugs, you know. And does it look big on me? No, if I size this to my wrist, I have an average man's wrist with above average man's intelligence, it would fit just fine. So you take a look at that. Does that look good? To me, it looked pretty darn good. So for me, a very daily wearable watch. I really like the stainless steel Submariner. If you can't afford the green one, you know, it's no shame. It's a lot of money. You know what? Buy the black one because that one is pretty. If you can't afford that one, you could buy the no date. And if you can't afford that one, you can go back to the previous generation. You know, I always say don't feel embarrassed about what you can and cannot afford. Hey, we all have different wallets. You know, you buy what makes sense to your wallet and what makes sense to what you like. There's nothing wrong with getting, you know, stepping down or stepping up your collection, you know, according to what your budget fits. I feel nothing wrong with that. Me personally, like I said, I'd like to buy this. It's kind of a lot of dough at the moment. They're trading for around like high teens, and that's kind of a lot of money for me. So I'm not gonna buy it yet, but maybe I'll save a few dollars, and I will. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think. Should I get rid of my Hulk and take this one? Anyways, those are my thoughts. I really like this one. Now moving on to this Pepsi, I also really like this one. Why? Okay. I'm going to tell you because the Pepsi is iconic. It's been around forever. The older versions that were on the Oyster bracelet are selling at a very high amount, and you know, it's a very iconic watch. Now with the Jubilee, actually at first I thought I wouldn't like it, but you know, after wearing it and trying it like a few times, I thought, wow, actually I really do like it, and I really like that. The ceramic bezel. I just think they really done it right, and of course they do because they're Rolex and they have millions of dollars of research and development. And they figure out what to do, so they really know how to make a good watch. So I'm not surprised that I really did like it. So I do like it, and I'm just saying, since it's a comparison, I really got to give you my thoughts, right? Which I rather get. You know, if I had to choose one and I couldn't sell either, and I just had to wear it forever, Which one would I choose? Well, me, I'm just a Submariner fan, so I'd really have to go with the green sub on this side. However, if I really could make a good case for this Pepsi. So in the end, what can I say? I can say that if you like any of these watches, please go to jaztime.com, jaztime.com, because that's why we make these videos. We make them so customers like you can decide in the comfort of their own home which watch they want to buy at the lowest price anywhere online. And you can do so by going to jaztime.com.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to model as seen in video, click on it and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jaztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in Jaztime, plus the brand, model and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.